Hello everyone, welcome back to Technish. So we are resuming our Docker tutorial series. In this video, we are going to deep dive into one of the most important aspects of Docker, that is Dockerfile. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to write and use a Dockerfile to build a custom, Docker images for your applications. So let's get started. So first, let's answer this question. Okay, so what is a Dockerfile? A Docker file is a simple text file that contains a set of instructions to build a Docker image. Okay. So think of it as a recipe where you define your base image and you add some application files, install the dependencies, and configure your container that you know how it should behave. Okay. So I will show you a simple Docker file with comments explaining each line, and I will try to give all the set of instructions that you can give, and in the Docker file and the basic structure like how you can write it. Okay, let's go to the next one. That is the basic structure of Docker file. Okay, so let's break down this is a basic structure. So a typical Docker file includes these instructions. Okay, so from is defines your base image. Okay, so whenever you will write a form, so it after that it will expect your base image. You can use any base image like Python, Node.js, Java. Okay, anything you can go for Ubuntu as well. Anything that you want your container to be based on. Okay, next is work directory. That is, it sets your working directory inside the container. So like whenever the image is being built, like the base image, after that, what is the current working directory that it will be working on? Okay, that is what the work directory means. Okay, copy, it's very simple. It's copies the file from your local machine to your container. Okay, so if you suppose you have a file that you have built. Okay, suppose you have a Python file. Okay, and or suppose you have a jar file or a war file, and you want to copy that into your container. So you can use the copy. Okay, next is run. Okay, it executes the command to install the dependencies or set up the environment. Okay, so inside in the run, you can give whatever instruction you like. Like if you are working on a Python project, you can go for a pip install requirements.txt. So the requirements.txt has to be in that working directory in order to fulfill the command, right? So that's why first you have to mention the working directory, and after that you copy that requirement.txt inside the working directory, and after that you call the run method. Okay, so after that, inside you have the CMD, that is, it specifies the command to run when the container starts. So whenever the container will be starting, okay, you have to provide your command. That is, suppose you're working on a Python one, so you can do is Python, and after that, in the argument, you give your Python file name. If you're working with Java, you give Java jar and give your jar file name. Okay, I will show you how you can do that. Okay, so these are the basic structure of Dockerfile. Okay, this is a sample Docker file that I've shown you. This is for the Python. So as you can see, this is an example Docker file, and I have given all the comments that you can give. Like this is the from Python. This is the base image that I'm taking. That is Python 3.9. Okay, that is the latest one. This is the base image, right? And after that, I am setting the working directory to app. So this is in the step 2. I'm giving the working directory to app, and after that I'm copying everything, whatever is there in my local, I'm copying it into the app. Okay, and after that, whenever the copy is completed, what I'm doing is I'm running run pip installed dash r requirements.txt, and it will install all the dependencies that you have written inside the requirements.txt. Okay, so requirements.txt is a file. Those who don't know, let me rephrase this. So pip is Python package manager that installs or the requirements, that is requirements.txt inside. So whatever dependency you define inside the requirements.txt, Like suppose you have security dependencies, you have different kinds of input output dependencies. For those things, you mentioned that this is the requirement, and the requirement means like you can say that your certain Python version is requiring a certain requirement version for a dependency to be satisfied. So Python 3.9 will require a security requirement of a package of 2.0. Okay, if the package is below 2.0, the Python version will not be compatible. So in those cases, we write requirement.txt. Okay, and after that, what I'll do is I'll do cmd, that is the command that I'm writing, and I'll give Python, and I will start the app.py. Okay, this is the way it will get started. Okay, so let's create a Docker file. Okay, so I will show you how I have created. So let's see. Okay, so I have an application here. I've written a Java application. Okay, so first of all, this is the Docker file that I've written. So it's very simple. As you can see, I have given the base image as Java, that is OpenJDK 17, and after that, what I'm doing is I'm doing a working directory, that is app. Okay, this is the working directory of the container. Okay, now after that, what I'm doing is, so whenever I create a Java file, right? So I create a jar. So inside the pom, what I've done is I have done where is that? I have mentioned the Java version. Okay, uh where is that? Okay, it's not mentioned there. Okay. Okay, I was working on a different one. Okay, so leave it. So this is the dependency that I've given. That is, whenever I am creating, so whenever I'm packaging this application, what I'll do is I'll create a jar file. So that jar will be inside target, right? Inside the target, I have this jar file, right? So this jar file should be copied to the app folder. This is the current working folder, and inside the application folder, I am copying this. So basically, I am copying this is my local file, that is the jar file, that is inside the target. Usually inside target there is this. Okay, so whenever you try to build a Java file, the jar files will get created inside the target folder, right? And what I'm doing is I am picking up the jar file and I am copying it inside the inside the app folder. After that, what I'm doing is I'm exposing 8080 port, and after that, whenever it is starting, I am giving Java dash jar, and I am giving the container name. Okay, so this, in order to execute this, you need to be your file needs to be available there. So whenever you put a jar file, the jar file is available inside the app, right? That is the working directory that we have defined. Okay, and after that, what I'm doing is I am doing an Java jar snapshot jar. Okay, I'll try to build it. So before we do that, what I need to do is I need to start the Docker. So for that, what I'll do is I will start the Docker desktop. Okay, so as you can see, I have some of the images already, it's already in uses. So what I can see is the Docker engine is running. Okay, the Docker engine is already running. So whenever you start the Docker desktop, you can use the Docker engine get started. Okay, what I can do is what I can do is you know I can take my image name. So I will show you the next one, that is what is Docker compose dot YML. So if you have multiple containers, we write Docker compose dot YML. We will discuss it in the later videos. So I will take the image that I have built. Okay, and as you can see, I'll show you what I'm doing with this. Okay, before we do that, I will just give. So before we will do is Docker run. So whenever, because our image has already been built, so I will give Docker run. This is our image name. Okay. So if I do this, you will see that the Spring container has been started. Okay. It will fail for some reason because this is not working properly. So it is because it is showing that the local host is 4045432 Postgres has been refused because the Postgres container is not running. If you go here and you can see the status is not in use. So we will, once we start the container, it will it will try to connect multi-container connection and it will start. Okay. So this is how you can do. So this is actually running your container. This is the container that sorry, this is the image that has been built. So as you can see that whenever I start Docker run, it will get started. So it's pretty basic. I can again go for that. That first we are taking the OpenJDK. After that we are setting the working directory. After that what I'll do is I'm copying the generated jar to our container, and after that we are exposing 8080, and after that I am giving an entry point to Java jar. This is a simple Java command that we write whenever we want to run any jar file. Okay, and whenever it will run in the whenever you want to run it in the Docker, the Docker you just give Docker run and your image name, and it will run. Okay, inside the Docker container. Okay, so now you know how to create and use a Docker file to build custom Docker images. So try creating your own Docker file up for a project and let me know how it goes in the comments. In the next video, we will explore Docker Compose and how to manage multi-container applications. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more Docker tutorials. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Happy coding. Bye.